It is really hard to believe we're halfway through. I feel like things have flown by. I don't know if it's COVID or just normal motor vehicle time. I always say it's like dog years because time goes so fast in the motor vehicle world. But it's been a great year. I mean, it's always filled with challenges for every chair, and this year has been like no other. COVID obviously still continued to persist, especially at the beginning of the year, and how do we bring people back safely together? So we've had a mixture of in-person and remote meetings, and you take the good that comes with the change that we've all had to endure, the fact that we've now exposed more people to AMBA. The chief administrators get together once a month, and Ann leads a call with all of us to talk about our efforts to move forward and things that we're working on and that are important to the community. And so, I think it's been an exciting year, and as always, the motor vehicle community steps up and rebounds in a great way. Former Administrator John Cove really encouraged me to get involved in AMBA early on, and so I tagged along for some of his working groups. It was the internal fraud working group that was put together many years ago, and then he encouraged me to sign up for a standing committee, so I did, the driver committee. I think it was actually here in Orlando where I attended my first out-of-state. We had the Virginia meeting where we all did the organizational meeting, but I think back in Orlando, again at another workshop and standing committee meeting, which is really exciting. I love the committee process, got to meet so many people, folks who are resources even to this day. We were talking about this morning, Boyd Dickerson Walden, who is now, the director of IT for Florida. He was the chair of the vehicle committee when I was the chair of the driver committee. So it just shows how those long-term relationships really blossom and move forward. And Boyd is obviously an important board member guiding us in terms of our many IT strategic plans. So through the years, I've not only been involved in the standing committees, but many working groups. From looking at driver history records, from state to state involvement, just so many different efforts where we really learn to dig into an issue to find out more about it. And I feel like I've taken so much from my AMBA experience that I can really apply back home. And then when you have that challenge and you need to reach out to a colleague, phone a friend, so to speak, you can do that because you've built those relationships throughout the years. I really encourage them. In fact, have one new staff member who's here today with us at the workshop first meeting, and likewise we had another one who attended the mobile pop-up meeting, mobile classroom for MDL a few weeks ago, and so really exciting to get them exposed as well. And another great resource I think is the podcast, frankly. I encourage all the staff to listen to it because it's a way to get you exposed to an issue for 30 minutes and without actually being at a conference, which is not possible for all of our teams, so it's a great resource too. Well, I'm looking forward to going to all the regions, so I have plans to attend all the regional meetings, which is exciting. I've only really attended Region 1 in the past, so it's great to be exposed to the other regions and how they do things maybe a little bit differently. Also just looking forward to continued movement of the board initiatives that we're working on. We've got a board meeting coming up in April, so a lot of important topics that we'll discuss there as well. And then obviously at the end of it, the AIC will be a little bit later this year, so it'll be in September in Baltimore, and we're certainly looking forward to welcoming everybody to Baltimore. I definitely enjoy seeing people. There's nothing, that can have that same experience. Online is great and it serves an important purpose, but, having those casual conversations, being able to ask something follow-up that you wanted that maybe came up during a session, can't do that as well online, and so it's great to be back in person. It is a challenge, and prior chairs warned me, who did travel, that balancing the job back home and also trying to do this are difficult. Our legislature is still in session, for example, and so I've got a bill hearing on Thursday that luckily I can now participate in remotely, but still it just creates those challenges. But it's an honor to be the chair, and so that's the way I look at it, and making sure that I'm there for all the jurisdictions and the members in any way I can to support them. So we're excited about some of the developments that are happening. Certainly MDL has been a huge step forward in the digital trust service that AMBA is working on, as well as the governance committee. It's going to be really important going forward in terms of how we set the rules for engaging in that to make sure you have that secure handshake when you're exchanging that mobile DL. Also, I've been really involved in state-to-state and driver history records. So excited to see that move forward. Wisconsin being the first state to implement, coming soon. And so we're also working on how the compact and state-to-state move forward together. So more to come on that. We'll be briefing the board as well as the state-to-state governance committee about our plans there. And then ultimately, we'll have a compact membership meeting, and that'll be again at the AIC in September. So that's really exciting. And then highway safety is another important priority. So we're working actually on a new policy that if it's ratified by the board, it'll come to the regional meetings and then international, just to spell out what's helpful from a motor vehicle perspective in terms of engaging with the highway safety community, what's important. Certainly we have new administrators that come in. It'd be great to give a policy that kind of spells out how you can best work together, and clearly our goals are always zero fatalities, and so by using those partnerships and leveraging the assistance that we can both provide each other, it moves everybody forward.